Okay, we're live.
Hello, everybody. I think we're live now, so that's good. I haven't quite got the update over here on the iPad that we're live. Um, but Happy New Year's. We will be. Oh, here we go. It's live now. It's starting to concern me a little bit. But I guess it's New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year's Eve and New Year's tomorrow. It's certainly been a pretty awesome year,
Yes,
at
for
least
sure.
for us. So we're definitely happy to talk about a few different things that happened in 2022, a few new things that will happen in 2023 that I'm sure you guys are excited to hear about. And we're also excited to share with you like some of our favorite cars. I think that's kind of going to be the main topic for this live stream is our favorite cars that we reviewed in 2022, which is probably going to be an interesting list for you guys because we review a lot of cars.
Yeah, there's been a ton of cars this year. We've had a very productive year. Lots of different new models, and yeah, we definitely have some favorites among those that we'll get to talk about today, as well as some other hopefully interesting topics to end this successful 2022 with.
Of course.
All right, I think we're probably having some people
tune in,
get into the live stream here.
See if I can't find where to do the comment section on this iPad.
To the live chat.
Oh, here it is, live chat. Okay, so now I have the live chat up so we can see if you want to drop any questions or anything, you can drop those in the live chat. We will do our best to answer every single one of those. We do want to talk about a certain list of cars that we have to kind of keep it on topic, but of course we want to conversate with you guys and kind of get that one-on-one impression so you can drop any comments. It looks like someone's turning 15. That's the last one that came up for me, so happy birthday, 15. That's we've been reviewing cars a little bit into that. We were really crappy at reviewing cars back when I was that young, but enjoy your time.
We were trying to review cars back then.
Right.
That's what's important.
Yeah. All right. So we have 65 people with us. So do we want to?
Right. Very nice.
Yeah. Hopefully this is a good time for everyone.
Hello, 65 people.
Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks for being subscribers. We certainly appreciate that. As we were saying, if you're just tuning in, 2022 has been a great year. So we're looking forward to all the changes in 2023, and I know you're going to have a lot of cool cars coming out pretty soon. So let's go ahead and dive into just some of the topics we have here for our live stream.
Right. And before we get into this list, just want to preface by saying we're just going to be talking about cars that we actually reviewed and drove this year. Obviously, we didn't really want to get into like everything in general because some of us certain segment of vehicle or whatever can be very, very large, and it may have been a while since we've been in one of those models. So, we just want to kind of keep things focused on the new stuff that we drove in the last year.
And before we do that, if you like what we're wearing, we do have the merch store. It's up and running. We just got these. These are the just normal hoodie. And I was actually very impressed. I love the white color. We're going to start wearing them in a lot more of our videos in 2023. Sometimes it's a bit cold, so I don't want to just wear a hoodie. So a lot of times I'm wearing a jacket or whatnot. But we're going to start wearing some of our merch so you can guys can get a good idea of what it looks like. If you want to support the channel that way, that would certainly be appreciated. And we do have the merch store on the bottoms of all of our videos, so you can find that super easily if you're interested in that. We also do have TikTok and Instagram, so if you don't follow us on those platforms, that might also be a great way for you to stay involved on some of the most up-to-date information. A lot of times we post stories and stuff when we're traveling, so you can kind of keep updated with where we're at and what we're doing.
Exactly. Mason said great. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and kind of hop into this list here. I wanted to kick things off by talking about family crossovers, because the family crossover is a very popular segment for people. It's very popular on this channel. We have a lot of young families, I think, on this channel. They're very interested in buying a car that's suitable for them. They're youngsters, have plenty of space in the cargo compartment, and plenty of nice features. And with that, we talked about it, and we decided that our best family crossover of the year would be the Hyundai Palisade. We were
Yeah.
very impressed when we sampled the new Palisade in Asheville, North Carolina. I can't remember how many months ago that was.
That was back in August.
August, okay. Yeah, very impressed by that product. Of course, the Palisade is a very strong product in general for the last several years, but they made updates, strategic updates that really enhanced the overall product, in our opinion, in terms of both the luxury factor, also design. I think improved quite a bit, and it's just a really solid vehicle. You're just getting so much content for the price that you're paying. That's why it's really been such a popular product since it came out.
Yeah, guys, so I want you guys in the comment section of the live stream, go ahead and put which of the two siblings you would pick now that they both been refreshed, the Kia Telluride or the Palisade. That's always been kind of a hot comparison for us. And to be honest with you guys, I think both of us prefer the Palisade, the after refresh, so the 2023 model. I think Hyundai kind of upped the game a little bit more than Kia did. And I'm not a fan that they got rid of my amber daytime running lights on the Telluride. So that kind of inches me closer to the Palisade. And I think they're easier to come by, so you should be able to get one for a cheaper price than a Kia Telluride. So.
And you guys probably saw our comparison that we made a couple months ago, putting those two head to head, and of course they're very close to each other, but you've got that tiny percent advantage in the Palisade's direction, in our opinion.
Yeah.
Okay, let's also talk about trucks, pickup trucks. Pickup trucks are the best-selling segment in the United States by far. A lot of people forget that. They sell nearly 1 million like F-150s, nearly 1 million Silverados, just a ton of trucks. With this, we're going to kind of split the category just a little bit. If you're looking for, like, on the more luxury side of things, as far as the most luxurious truck, that really still seems to be the Ram 1500 Limited for us. There's just certain levels of luxury that GMC has gotten very, very close with, the Sierra, but I think the big distinguishing factor and the reason we were ranking it like this is just because of the air suspension. That's kind of the biggest thing. The ride quality is better in the Ram. Now, on the other side of things, you have the Raptor. That is an awesome truck. So if you're looking for the performance truck, it really doesn't get any better than that. Of course, you got the TRX as another option, but the Raptor...
The new Raptor R.
We haven't sampled the Raptor R, and we already know that the regular one is just spectacular. It was something we really enjoyed spending time with, and we really look forward to trying out the Raptor R as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And let's head into our favorite EV of the year. So this year was kind of a unique year because this was probably one of the first years that we've reviewed EVs, honestly. Like, some of our first EV reviews were at the very end of 2021, and this year we've reviewed a lot of EVs. A lot of manufacturers are coming out with new EVs, and I think we've just recently seen that segment of just new EVs blow up. There's just a lot of them out there. So our favorite EV this year that we reviewed was the Lucid Air. Now, obviously that's a very expensive product and out of the price point of the vast majority of people what they can afford, but it was a very impressive product, I will admit. To have something that can have up to 520 miles of EV range, have the performance that it does, and also the luxury factor. I think that's a really big deal with the Lucid, was the fact that the Lucid feels a lot more premium on the inside than like a Tesla Model S Plaid. We did review that one as well, and that'll get a separate award coming later, but it just seemed like a lot more of a substantial, like, luxury car that was an EV, as opposed to like just being a Tesla.
Right, exactly. You kind of want EVs ideally to not compromise your lifestyle or anything like that, and that feels like an EV that someone could easily own, and it would work for all circumstances, including even like a long road trip. So really cool. Now, of course, I just want to go ahead and say this. Make sure, whatever your thoughts are, bring them into the live chat. We want to see what you guys are thinking about the things we're saying here. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What else are you thinking of that could win any of these categories.
And if you're leaving a question in the live stream chat, we will get to those after we cover some of these categories. We'll just kind of go through and start answering a few of these as we get about halfway through our sections here.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of want to stagger and make sure we get everything worked in here. Okay, so here's a fun category that we came up with when we were making this list. We said smiles per mile. So that's basically what type of vehicle did we drive this year that really just put a huge smile on our face every time we were in it, and we enjoyed every second we were in it. Two things really come to mind. Both of these products we had for 7 days, which was a great privilege that we really enjoyed. Thank you guys for making that possible.
Right.
The Cadillac Escalade V and the Chevy Corvette Stingray. We had both of those products for 7 days each, and basically we had huge smiles, doofus smiles on our face for 7 straight days, because it was just so much fun having these two performance vehicles. Of course, they're very fast, but it also has just a lot to do with sound, the experience behind the wheel. They're very visceral. They have just such nice sound. They wake up the neighbors with their...
Yeah, the Escalade V, I nominate that for best exhaust of 2022. I know we just had it and the review came up on the channel, so if you haven't checked that video out, you should. It's a pretty cool video, but it's so loud and I love it. Like, I mean, the car makes no logical sense, but that's why it makes sense to buy that car, because it's just so awesome. And if you have $150,000 to blow on an Escalade, it's pretty stellar. I have to admit that. And the Corvette is just excellent. You've probably seen our review on that. You've seen other people's reviews, and it's just an excellent, excellent product. So
amazing performance vehicle all around, and it's honestly just a complete bargain compared to the things that it competes with.
Sorry, I'm getting a little distracted by the live stream comment. Someone said, "When is the refrigerator tour?" I will have to say that's pretty funny, but we have nothing in the refrigerator. We don't cook very much. Honestly, we've been struggling this week to find stuff to eat. So we're trying to bounce between like the holidays. Like what we do now is like try and get some home cooked meals from the family on the holidays and stuff. So we don't really cook much at home. So the refrigerator tour is pretty much empty. I can tell you. It's mainly just like ketchup and mustard, and that's about it. So
yeah, it's pretty lame. Okay, let's move on down here to the fastest car we drove in 2022.
Here's where the car comes in. This is the Tesla Model S Plaid. That did 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. I think Tesla quotes like 1.99999 or something.
And it's like if you look into it, they're cheating, basically.
Right.
It's somewhat of a lie, but it's fast as hell anyway you look at it. There's no other way to get around it. It's painfully fast. Like, you do more than like 3 accelerations right in a row, your head just feels like it's gonna explode.
I'd say it's almost too fast. I'm gonna be honest, and like after we were in the car for a day, I was like, there's not really a need to have something this fast, because like Drew said, after like 4 accelerations, my head actually started to hurt, and like it just makes your body feel weird. It's like doing just a roller coaster again and again and again. Like it's brutal on your body. So I don't know. I don't know if I would ever really need a car that fast. I don't think it really makes a lot of sense. But it is incredibly fast. So for all the people, like if you just want to give people rides and have them be mind blown, Model S Plaid. That's right. Stellar choice.
It's kind of all about bragging rights, and there you go. That's faster than like a Bugatti, but it's obviously way more affordable than that.
Now, on the other end of that, most efficient car of this year, gas-wise, fully, just a gas car, not like a plug-in hybrid or an EV, was the all-new Toyota Prius. That actually is the most efficient hybrid offered in America. We just sampled that out.
And you guys are watching it on our channel.
I know.
It's just yesterday.
Honestly, yeah, I think the review came out yesterday. We sampled it a couple weeks ago. Pretty impressive product. I'm actually curious, like I haven't went through the Prius comments on our video yet. If you want to drop a few of those in the live stream so that we can see what your guys' thoughts are on this new Prius. But I was impressed by the product. It looks pretty good. It gets excellent fuel economy. They've improved the driving dynamics. And yeah, it wins the most efficient car of 2022 for us.
Yeah, that's it. It's hard to beat 57 mpg while adding style. Okay, I lost my place in the list here. Okay, now we're at top compact sedan. This one is an interesting category in the fact that there's a lot of good options, but of course, people are buying a lot of crossovers these days, but there's not a lot of like good affordable cars. Those are kind of getting tossed to the wayside, and this category is very important because these are very high quality cars that you can use for a variety of purposes. And I think probably the most versatile one, and what we're declaring as the winner of this category, is the Honda Civic. You've got so many different options when it comes to the Honda Civic. Yeah, you have a wide spectrum of trim levels. It's just such a solid car overall. You don't feel like you're driving an affordable or cheap car, even if you're on the lower end of the spectrum. If you choose a Civic Sport, for instance, which is now the base trim level of the Civic, you don't feel penalized because you did that. It still feels like almost a class above type of vehicle in the solidity, the spaciousness. It just has a lot of good features. Of course, you can choose the hatchback, have a manual transmission, which is cool. You can choose a Civic Si
or a Type
R. You got a lot of different choices when it comes to the Civic, and I think it's really the most well-rounded, compact sedan or hatchback, whichever one you choose to have.
All right, now we have the new compact family crossover. I guess the best new one in that segment. So the two that stand out to us, we're going to do like a 50-50 split on this. The Mazda CX-50 is a very solid product. We sampled that out at the beginning of the year, and then we got a loaner for a full week, so we had a full extensive test of the CX-50. Really a fantastic car. It looks good on the outside. It has a lot of practicality. Mazda's fixed a lot of what your all's complaints were, my complaints too, the infotainment system. They've fixed that with the CX-50, and now it's built in America and all these good things. So the CX-50 is just a really solid product, I have to admit. And it has the turbo engine in it, which is rare for the segment. But also the other car that really stands out is the CR-V hybrid. The new CR-V is obviously, Honda's going to do a good job when it comes to a CR-V because they sell 300,000-400,000 of them every year. It's a money maker for the brand. They have to do a good job, and they did. This is a really impressive product, and specifically, we're going to say the CR-V hybrid as opposed to the gas version, because that would be our choice, just because it gets the better fuel economy, and honestly, now they're not really penalizing you like in terms of price by making you pay $2,000 extra. It's just get the Sport or the Sport Touring trim levels, which are the ones I find most desirable anyway. So
right, and you heard of us talking about that in the CR-V hybrid review. Just that really seems like the hybrid kind of is the no-brainer of the new lineup, especially if you want the CR-V that's stylish looking. But I think now would be probably a good time, about halfway through or 3/4 of the way through our list here, maybe just to
go through,
reply to some comments here. Then we'll go back, do some more of these, reply to some more comments. Do something kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the first comments is from Bradley's Car Reviews. Is asking about the 2023 Honda Pilot. Well, we were just talking about the CR-V. This is, of course, the bigger brother Honda SUV. Yes, we will be reviewing the Honda Pilot shortly. I'm trying to remember my dates, but
I think we're
mid-January.
Yeah, we're probably about 3 weeks away from driving the all-new Pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, and I believe in several different trim levels as well. So you can look forward to seeing that really soon. And I believe it is going to be coming out to dealerships pretty soon as well. So probably right around the time you see our content come up.
Yeah, so we actually have several comments about the Pilot. So that answers all your questions on that. You will see content coming soon, so don't be too impatient. We just have to wait for them to have the drive of it, which will be soon. So be honestly one of the first reviews you see next year. All right, now we had another comment about the Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid. And that product, we don't necessarily have like plans like media wise to do a press launch for it, but we do have connections with a Mitsubishi dealership. So when the new Outlander plug-in hybrid starts arriving at dealerships, we will be doing a review on that. We couldn't make it to the national press launch because there were schedule conflicts with other media programs going on. But yes, we do intend on reviewing that soon.
Yes, for sure. Happy New Year. Nice. Fantastic.
It looks like Kenton Yealy just donated $5. Thank you so much.
Yes, we got a super chat.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Thank you for
Yeah.
that. Your support and kind comment.
Yeah, and Happy New Year to you as well. Of course, we certainly appreciate you viewing the channel. We appreciate your donation, and also just Happy New Year to you. I hope all of you guys are having a great New Year and just can enjoy it and take some time off. I mean, I'm sure it's been a busy year for a lot of you guys. It's been a busy year for us too.
Definitely.
But to answer your question,
have you reviewed the M4 or the M8 soft top convertibles? No, we have not.
We did an M4 a long time ago.
That was a long time.
It was like a 2020
generation, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yes, they're just kind of rare and hard to find, but we are. If you're a big BMW fan, you might be happy to know we are talking with media people in the BMW space to see if we can get some BMWs on loan, hopefully some cooler BMWs, and have them for longer to test out. So that would be a big benefit to our channel if you're a big BMW fan.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Kitten. I think some of those more rare products, a little bit more difficult to track down in dealerships. So having the media connection, which we're hopeful we will be able to get that handled pretty shortly, and being able to have some of that, we can request some of those more rare vehicles for them to share with us so we can get reviews on those. But certainly it's on our list. If our dealership gets one and we're able to review it, then we'd be happy to. They're excellent products, that's for sure.
Yes, for sure. Okay, we have a comment of someone asking, hey guys, I'm thinking of buying a 2023 Infiniti QX60, $3,000 below MSRP. Good car. Okay, that sounds like a pretty good deal. Obviously, in today's market, it's been very challenging. Things are starting to take a little bit of a turn towards a little bit better for our new car buyers. So getting $3,000 off at MSRP is a pretty good deal for sure. As far as the product itself, QX60 is a very solid product. We enjoyed our time with it. It's very spacious. It has plenty of luxury. We would like to do probably a head-to-head comparison with like an MDX, for example, see who shakes out on top. But
that will be coming.
Yeah, we'll hopefully be doing that in the new year. But it's all in all a pretty solid product.
Yeah, I'd say that's very solid. And what I would do is I would cross shop it with, if you have a top list of competitors, QX60 goes really head-to-head against MDX. I think those are very commonly cross-shopped. So go check out your Acura dealership. Tell them that you have $3,000 off MSRP of a QX60. See if they're willing to match it on the MDX, and if not, I think they're both very compelling products, so that could be the thing that pushes you towards one or the other.
For sure.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Looks like Anthony Thamel says, what are your initial thoughts about Mazda CX-70 and 90? And Happy New Year's, and Happy New Year's to you as well. We have not, of course, been given much information about the new CX-90. I do know that some information will be coming out in January for that product. I'm super excited for it, just based on like the pictures and such. I think Drew and I are both very excited at what Mazda is doing. Mazda is one of our favorite brands, and there's some things that they definitely need to improve on, but overall they offer really solid products. And I know that this will now have a hybrid and plug-in hybrid, right? I believe they announced that.
At least the versions. Yeah, I can't remember what they've announced. There's some information that's European information. We don't know exactly what's going to translate from the European market to the North American market. We're just going to have to wait and see on certain things. But yeah, there should be some advanced powertrain options available. It's really kind of you could say the next generation Mazda. Like it's the new company direction. It's going to set the standard that the rest of the brand's vehicles are going to follow. So it's very exciting, these two new upcoming products for sure.
Right. Another comment was asking about the CRV hybrid. If you made it that far in the live stream, it did win an award. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about the new CRV hybrid. Certainly a very nice product that they came out with.
For sure. Thank you guys for the kind words. We got lots of nice things.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And I mean, obviously, at the end of the year, we want to just emphasize thank you so much for being along in the 2022 journey with us. Because I mean, we've said it in previous live streams, so hopefully I don't sound too much like a broken record, but we truly do mean it. Like, we're doing exactly what we love doing. It's an amazing opportunity that we're able to do this for a living. I finally graduated college last week, I think, or the week before. So I'm finally able to do this full time. Drew and I are both doing this full time, which it's just such an incredible blessing that we're able to do that. And it wouldn't have been possible if you guys don't watch our content and keep commenting and liking and sharing and all those things. That really makes it possible, because that's what manufacturers look at. They see, oh, these people got views. Well, we're going to invite them out to see cooler cars. And then that in turn kind of creates that positive feedback loop. So your all support means a lot to us, and we really do appreciate it. And 2022 was a fantastic year. We're hoping to make 2023 even better. So, just thank you guys for that.
For sure.
And also, it's really cool to see people from all over the world. I see someone is greetings from Athens, Greece. That's a long way away from here.
I saw India as well.
India, there's so many different places around the world. So it's really humbling to see that so many people are tuning in from across the globe. Thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot.
Somebody here is asking, Karnama. Guys, thank you for all your videos. Very informative and engaging. How would you compare the 2023 Pilot versus the Odyssey? Well, once again, we'll get that full impression of the Pilot soon, but we have, of course, spent a little bit of time with the Pilot stationary to see the exterior and the interior pretty extensively. And, it's going to be kind of a matter of personal preference. Which one is best for your family? You have to really think in terms of like minivan specific features. If any of those things really matter to you, that would be kind of what would put you maybe over the edge to get an Odyssey instead of a Pilot. Like sliding doors, obviously, if you're concerned about your kids opening the door into a car next to you or something like that, that would be a big characteristic. But as far as, the Odyssey, of course, has been out for a while, but it really doesn't feel like outdated or anything. It's a pretty well done minivan still to this day.
Yeah, I think what I would say the main thing when you're looking at cross-shopping those two, we actually get this question a lot because a lot of people are, have families and they're curious. I'd say the main thing, the third row on the Odyssey is going to be better. I've sat in the third row of the new Pilot at the auto show, and it's not that it's a bad third row for its segment, but really it's just so much more space in the Odyssey. It's more comfortable. So if you have people in the third row all the time, Odyssey is probably going to be a better choice. Also, I think it has more maximum cargo capacity. So if you need the third row up with more cargo capacity, minivan's probably going to be your better choice. Also, price might factor into that as well, because Pilot's all new out. The Odyssey's been out for a while. You might be able to get more of a discount on the Odyssey. All right.
Want to go back to our list for a little while?
Yeah, so we'll keep on with the live stream questions. So don't be disheartened if we didn't get to your question. We're going to pause it right there and go back to some of our top vehicles this year, and then we'll come back to the live stream questions. All right, so our most unique and interesting vehicle. You guys have any guesses for this?
Yeah, so this was an interesting category that we kind of reflected on. A vehicle, I guess, that kind of surprised us. Something that was unexpected and different from other things. Because there's a lot of cars, ultimately, you can get into the nitty gritty and compare little details between rivals, but if you really boil down to the essence, there's a lot of cars that are pretty similar to each other. They're all pretty good, especially if you're in a really competitive segment. They can't really let one get an advantage over the other, so it keeps them pretty similar to each other. So the car that stood out and surprised us and was really interesting was the Toyota Crown. That was kind of an unexpected car for us. It's a interesting body style. You know, you have an elevated sedan. So, you know, the Toyota replaced the Avalon with the Crown. The Avalon, of course, is just a more traditional large sedan that was kind of just skewed towards luxury, maybe appealed to older, crowded people. Yeah, to be honest. But the Crown is a different vehicle kind of altogether. You know, being elevated, having the radical design that it has, the two-tone paint, kind of like a, I don't know, not that
It's
many,
so
not
weird,
that many cars
yeah.
have the paint job like that, like a Rolls-Royce Phantom or something.
A new BMW 7 Series
Or the
has the
7 Series,
two-tone
yeah.
thing. Yeah, it's a really weird product. I mean, honestly, I've been in the car several times and I'm still not exactly sure how I feel about it, like as an overall encompassing package, but it's very interesting and compelling. So if that's like something you're looking for, is something that no one else is gonna offer, I guess the Crown is a really good choice. It's,
Yeah,
you know, it's unique.
that's
So-
right. It's kind of like a personality
Yeah.
extension. You know, if you want something that's really going to stand out and be bold, it sure doesn't look like a Camry, that's for sure. And you're not going to see another one out there on the street. So you're going to have a, you know, one of a kind, not one of a kind, but you know what I mean. It's going to stand out.
Yeah. All right. And I guess kind of going away from like our favorites in the segment, let's go ahead and hop into some interesting things about the channel as a whole. What was our most viewed video in 2022? Now, if you want to drop some guesses down there in the live stream comment section, I think this video on our channel, we're of course talking full like length video, so like a 30-minute full review or a comparison or whatnot, not like a YouTube short or anything along those lines, but I think, what did you say? It got about 600,000 views this year, this video.
Yeah.
I think it was about
something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah,
it's the Toyota Tundra Capstone. So that was we actually sampled that out for the first time in January of last year. So maybe that's why I had the most views, because it was up for the longest amount of time. But we did sample that out earlier in the year. Very impressive product. The Toyota Tundra is a great new product out, and we were impressed that Toyota finally elevated the Tundra to have a true luxury experience similar to what you get in the American trucks, which certainly was not true of the previous generation model.
Yeah. And on the flip side, we also want to talk about the least viewed video, which basically is a direct reflection of you guys, right? Because you guys are our viewers, so I guess this would be the vehicle you were the least interested in when we uploaded it. And this was a weird one for me, because we were a little surprised actually, but the Ford F-150 Lightning, when we uploaded our full review,
it didn't do very
it got less than 6,000 views, which was crazy, because of course we're up to what, 340,000 or
341.
341,000 of you guys subscribe to our channel, and obviously that's a
low take rate on that.
Low take rate on. So I don't know if that was just maybe a reflection of, you know, already seeing too many videos about it or whatever, but it was an interesting thing that you guys weren't too interested in the F-150 Lightning, which is obviously a new and kind of exciting product.
Yeah. All right. And then lastly, I want to talk about our favorite driver's car of the year, which doesn't necessarily mean the fastest car. It doesn't mean it's like the, you know, best looking or whatever, but our favorite driving experience this year that we sampled out was the all-new Honda Civic Type R. I mean, that car, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I just have to say, like, the day that we drove that car, I was like, I don't want to give it back. And I had been in it since like 8 in the morning to like 5 p.m. And I was like, I don't want to give you the keys back. I just want to drive it back from California, because it was just so much fun to drive. The manual transmission is fantastic. And I mean, driving it around a racetrack, it shows what it's capable of, but it's also so good on just a normal street as well.
Right.
So
Exactly. For us, the big point about that car is, just that it's fun and engaging while, being relatively affordable if you can find one for the MSRP.
Yeah.
I know that's a struggle. With that's a separate video. We could vent about dealerships sometimes with their markups, but one day, hopefully, you'll be able to get a hold of one of those for around the MSRP, and then it's really just a killer deal because you're gonna have a smile on your face every day that you're driving it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'll hop into a little bit more of the live stream comments. It looks like Kirk Creefles joined our live stream. Happy New Year to you, Kirk. Kirk also has a YouTube channel. If you haven't already seen his channel's excellent, makes great work. We've met him at a lot of these different programs. It's super cool to meet other YouTubers that do the same thing. They're kind of like what you'd call colleagues and stuff. So thanks for joining in, Kirk. Excited to see you in the new year at another event, and Happy New Year to you and your family as well.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm seeing. Wait, I lost it. Nope, there it is. Found it again. All right, someone was asking about the Toyota Grand Highlander, and do you think that it would be better than the Kia Telluride or Hyundai Palisade? Well, I mean, that's going to kind of be a wait and see type of situation. I think that Toyota is really going to do a lot of great things with it. I just have a feeling that it is going to be an exciting new product in this segment. Because of course we know the Highlander right now is a very solid family crossover, and a lot of people love it. If you were going to say the number one deficiency of that product, it would probably be that it's smaller than the competition, which does restrict your third row space. So grand means bigger, right? So if we're going to go
one would
bigger,
hope. Yeah.
I guess maybe it doesn't. Grand Wagoneer sometimes makes just a little more luxurious, but I'm assuming that it's going to be larger, and that's going to be a really good place to be. If you take some of the strong areas of the Highlander right now, which is most things, pair it with more space, then it should be a really great product.
And I'll add that the one little teaser image that they've shown so far, it looks very similar to a Sequoia in the back. So I think the Highlander, one of my qualifying points if I was looking for that segment, is I want something kind of a little bit more tough and masculine looking. And the Highlander, it is not that it has a feminine vibe to it, but it's just a little bit more bland and doesn't have a lot of those rugged styling elements. So if they add that in for the Grand Highlander and make it look more like a Sequoia and Highlander mix, I think that's going to be a winning recipe for Toyota. And you guys will see content on that. I believe it's coming out at the Chicago Auto Show in February.
We will be there.
And we will be there, and we will see the Toyota Grand Highlander. So stay tuned for that content, because we are so excited to show you guys. I mean, seriously, when the news of the Grand Highlander came out, this is how you know I'm a little bit of a car nerd. I was so excited. I told everyone I knew. I was like, the Grand Highlander is coming out. And just because it was one of those rumors that they've been talking about for so long, that I'm so excited to actually see it come to fruition. So, very excited for that. There will be lots of content. Promise you on that.
We've got another super chat.
Yes.
So that, of course, when you do the super chat, that just brings your comments straight to the top. We see it immediately. And we have a comment from Kenton Ely. Thank you for your donation as well. Thoughts on the new 2023 Ford Escape? Would you get the 1.5 liter EcoBoost or the 2.5 liter hybrid? Okay, so in this regard, unfortunately, I don't have the best advice because I haven't driven the Escape Hybrid. Those are kind of rare, at least in our area. I haven't really been around one that I remember sampling.
We did do the auto show first look in LA of the refreshed Escape. So certainly on the outside and inside, they've freshened up the look of the product. It has that new light bar in the front.
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty good. The updates that they've made make it look a little bit more rugged. The interior was very nice on the one we did. We did a titanium, I believe. It was the highest end one.
Yeah, it had the elite package on it. But of course, like those things don't really change too much between which powertrain you get, if you get the gas one, the hybrid one, or the plug-in hybrid one, the refreshed elements. So it would be, kind of come down to, I guess, the driving dynamics, but of course, fuel economy. I mean, gas costs so much these days. It really kind of makes you want to lean towards the hybrid one in general, or I mean, I would be thinking about the plug-in hybrid because depending on how the tax situation shakes out with that stuff, you may be able to get such a big discount, maybe up to 7,500 federal tax credit. That would take the plug-in hybrid one perhaps to about the same price as the hybrid one and give you the additional range of having a plug-in hybrid. So that would be pretty cool.
Right, and what I'm also going to say is that even though we have not personally been in those because we have issues, our Ford dealership doesn't get a lot of new cars, and also Ford corporate doesn't work with us just yet. Hopefully in the new year they will start to send us stuff and invite us to programs so we can show you the latest Ford content. I mean, that's really the issue at this point. But I mean, it got really good reviews. I've talked to a few of our colleagues about this, and they really liked the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid. Like, they were impressed by it. So I do agree with you. I think I would definitely lean towards getting the hybrid just because I think that's where the future is going. I mean, I personally don't understand why you'd want to pay more for gas, and I'd much rather have a hybrid. So I would definitely be on the hybrid front if I'm comparing traditional gas versus hybrid, unless there's a huge price increase or something. But I would definitely also consider the plug-in hybrid because I think for a lot of people that might actually be the move to have 20, 30 miles of electric range and use it around town, basically like a full EV. But if you need the road trips, you can go a little bit farther.
Yeah, for sure. John Carr is asking, will you look at the 2000 and, well, it says 2003, but I'm assuming you mean 2023 Volkswagen ID4.
Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one
out. Yes, we are planning to sample that as soon as we have one available in our area.
Yep.
We also have a comment about the CX-5 or the Mazda CX-50. Which one do we like better? CX-5 has always been one of our favorites in that segment of vehicle, and of course now Mazda's basically taking a two-vehicle approach, so they've got both of them kind of competing in the same area. I would say in most ways probably lean towards the CX-50. The CX-50 is just a more modern vehicle. It came out this year. The CX-5 came out in 2017, so there's just a certain advantages you're going to get in terms of technology. In terms of design, it's a little fresher looking. But if you kind of boil down to like the bones of the product, if you get like a much better deal for perhaps on a CX-5, that might be the way to go, just because the overall strong areas of both products are pretty much the same.
And I'll add one of the weird, unique things about it is that the CX-5 signature, so the fully loaded CX-5, if you're going for that top end model, it has more goodies. It has like a very nice cabin. It has this like I think it's Napa leather. Like it has the extra level of bouginess that you get out of a luxury car. Whereas the fully loaded CX-50, I think it's called Turbo Premium Plus. Excuse me if I'm wrong. I think that is correct because we reviewed it a while ago, but it doesn't have some of those extra bougie touches. Like you're gonna get just regular leather seats, like some of the open pore wood trim that you get in the CX-5 signature that's not offered.
Yeah, there's just not a signature trim, basically, in essence. So maybe they'll add one later on, but they just don't have one right now. We also got a comment about where can I buy a sweater from y'all and any other merch you have. Well, you can buy any of the merch you see us wearing on the our Teespring store. So underneath of every one of our videos, you're going to find a bar. That bar is going to have featured products. You can click on any of those. It's going to take you to the web page, and you can customize it to be any color. Of course, we're wearing the white one right now. There's a lot of different color choices. You can get a sweater. You can get the hoodies like this. You can get long sleeve, short sleeve t-shirts, various different designs. There's a lot of different choices that you can pick. Or alternatively, there are links if you go to the store tab on the YouTube channel, or you can also go to our website as well, which is carconfections.com. You can find them in all of those places. And we just really love to see you guys when you wear our merch. That's really awesome to see people with our brand, around town and stuff. That's awesome.
I know. And if you do buy some merch or something, send it to us on like our DM us on Instagram or something. You're wearing
for sure.
it, because we'd love to give you guys a shout out on our Instagram, and also it's just cool for us, like we said, to see other people supporting the channel, wearing the merchandise. Because really, I mean, you probably don't even realize how many people you walk by if you're just wearing this. Like, people just start talking to you about it. So that's a great way to support the channel and help us to grow, is by having the merch. Someone asks you a question about it, and then maybe they become a subscriber, and that helps us to get cooler cars to show you all. So it's kind of, all like a circular thing, like I talked about before. But certainly we appreciate it, and we did revamp our merch store this year, actually. So there's a lot of new merch on there. So definitely go check it out if you haven't checked it out recently.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
There's also a question about the Lexus TX. Now, of course, we don't have any full information on that. I know that Lexus probably will come out with that product, but can't officially comment on anything like that because we don't know.
As of now, we don't have any information.
I bet they will have one by the end of next year, but we'll see on that.
For sure. Emily Collins is asking about an HEV, which would be a hybrid electric vehicle. Do they hold up okay in cold climates? Because she is tuning in from Canada. Which of course is very
Bless your
cold.
soul. I don't like the cold weather.
How cold was it in Canada?
Whew.
If it was
negative.
So last week it was
-7 degrees.
Yeah, -8.
Yeah. Real temperature, -30 was the wind chill.
-30, so I can only imagine what it was like in Canada. But as far as the hybrid specifically, hybrid technology has been something that a lot of brands, specifically Toyota, is kind of the innovator in that space. They've been around for a while. They've worked on making sure they're very reliable. As you know, Toyotas are known for being reliable, and they back their hybrid technology up with a really long warranty, which I believe is 150,000 miles. So that really should give everybody peace of mind. And of course, they test out all different types of climates when it comes to hybrid technology, as well as any other type of technology. Manufacturers, they have to go to high altitude, they have to go to deserts, they have to go to Canada for the cold. So I would feel totally comfortable with the long-term reliability. Now, in very cold places with full electric cars presents slightly more of a challenge, as people may have seen videos and stuff over the last week during this huge cold snap. It definitely impacts like a fully electric vehicle a lot more because you don't have that engine to rely on.
Yeah, I would go as far as to say a hybrid vehicle is sometimes smart enough to know, like, okay, it's freezing cold outside. Let me just run the engine until the engine's fully warmed up, so you can get, of course, like some heat into the cabin, but also it's sometimes a little bit damaging to the batteries to like accelerate and all that stuff if they're super cold soaked. Which is why, like in our Tesla, for instance, if it gets super cold, it has a little snowflake, it limits the amount of power you can have. It doesn't accept regen because the battery is not able to accept that power. So a hybrid, you really don't have a lot of those issues. So I would say hybrids and plug-in hybrids are probably a-okay for colder climates. But if you park outside and you live in Canada, EV might not be the choice for you.
I feel that it would be tough to have like a Tesla Model 3 in Canada, but that's, of course, our opinion on it. Happy New Year. We've been watching your reviews since 2015, and I love your videos. You guys are my favorite YouTubers for cars. Keep up the awesome work. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
That does mean a lot, yeah. We sucked in 2015, so you're a real one. Our videos weren't very good. Acura bringing a hybrid MDX. I think that's a really good question, Karnama. I think they should. I don't know if that means they will. I mean, if you ask me, I think at this point in time in 2023, I think pretty much every car should have a hybrid version, to be honest.
Hold on though. Acura has publicly
actually, they
said
did.
that they're going to skip hybrids and go straight to EVs. So actually, I wouldn't expect that to happen at all. That they don't seem to have any plans to bring hybrid versions of their current cars out, but instead move on to EVs, which, as just earlier this week, just a matter of a few days ago, actually, they did put out some pictures of a camouflaged version of the new ZDX and ZDX Type S, which will be their brand new electric crossovers. So those are moving on in development pretty quickly, and honestly, within 2023, we should actually see them fully unveiled, and
I think we will see
be ready for the market probably shortly thereafter. So I guess your choice would probably end up being in the future if you want a gas-powered MDX, or do I want to go with the electric ZDX instead?
Yeah.
Speaking of kind of electric versus gas, we do have a question about Volvos, whether they should choose the XC90 Recharge or wait for the
EX90.
I always want to say something else other than that. I'm just so used to saying XC90.
I know
that
it messes with your brain, but
yeah. So EX90. That of course is going to be basically a full electric version of a new generation of XC90. That's going to come back to what are you looking for in a car? Do you want the latest and greatest when it comes to design and technology and stuff like that? And are you going to be the type of person that wants a full EV, or do you want to benefit from having a plug-in hybrid version? Like, do you need the gas-powered engine, basically, is what I'm saying. If you're going on like super long road trips and stuff like that, it may be an advantage for you to have
the
plug-in ability, so you can drive around most of the time during full electric, but you can go the extra on the gas-powered engine versus I can't remember the exact range they said that the EX90 was going to get, but I think it was around 300 and some, which is
it might
that's
be
very
it might
good.
Be a little less.
That's very good, but of course you have unlimited range
right.
for gasoline, essentially.
And also, I think it also would come down to price as well. They haven't announced official pricing, but if I'm not mistaken, I think it was in Volvo's press release, they were talking about $80,000 plus for the EX90. So that's not going to be a cheap option. I believe your XC90 Recharge will be quite a bit cheaper.
Okay. Logic says, I have a family of 7, and do you think 2023 Sequoia Platinum has enough leg room? It says keg room, which we could discuss how many kegs you could fit in the back of a Sequoia too, if you want.
Don't think that's what he's going for.
I'm pretty sure you mean leg room. Maybe if you live with 7 people, you do need to transport kegs. Anyways, yeah, so legroom and space in the back. Okay, so with the Sequoia, that's kind of the most compromised area of the Sequoia. That is that third row and cargo capacity. And when you're behind the wheel, the powertrain, love it. It's great. It has advantages.
Lots of luxury.
It's because of that hybrid powertrain that it does somewhat compromise the third row space. Mason can talk maybe more about this because you did spend some time in the third row testing.
Oh yeah, I mean we've reviewed, and we spent a lot of time with Sequoia back in June when we were sampling it out, and right now they're just now starting to get to dealerships. But I mean, the third row is not fantastic, and I'd say the Sequoia is mainly made for the person that uses the third row on occasion, not as a regular. Now, if you have like a small child, it probably would be perfectly fine for you to use the third row regularly, but children grow up, and as they grow up, it's not going to be comfortable for a full-size adult in the third row. I will say, like, if you're comparing a Sequoia to a Chevy Tahoe, the Tahoe is going to have it hands down beat more than, in third row capacity as well as the cargo capacity. So I think the Sequoia really appeals to the person that's not necessarily going to use a third row every single time. So I
And
guess
of course, it is still much better than something like a Highlander. Having
right.
more space in that regard.
And also, I've been in the previous generation Sequoia, and the previous generation Sequoia actually had a better third row than the new one. So,
like I said, it kind of has to do with really honestly, it has to do with the hybrid technology. So you have to just weigh pros and cons, right? If you appreciate having that hybrid technology more than you care about the third row space, but it sounds like perhaps in your situation with 7 full people, so you'd be utilizing the third row all the time,
and it might need cargo space too.
Yeah, in that way you might be okay with maybe spending a little more on gas and choosing the V8 powertrain and a Tahoe or something like that instead.
Yeah. All right. For those of you that, well, it looks like, thank you for answering. You've been with the channel long enough, you know what cars we drive. But yes, if you didn't know already, we drive a Tesla Model 3 standard range and a Hyundai Sonata inline. We like both of them. They're both great cars. Have a little bit of performance to them, but they're also very practical vehicles. And for the 2023 F60 Recharge, we hopefully will be doing a review on those just as soon as we can get around to it. There's obviously a lot of cars for us to review. We work with a large amount of brands and stuff. There's a limited number of cars we can review every year. I'd love to review all of them, but it's just not physically possible. We're, of course, making plans to do some more stuff in 2023, but S60 Recharge is on the agenda. It's just a matter of if we're able to locate one that's a nice combination and if time allows.
Yeah, so, for sure.
All right. So that pretty much wraps up the questions in the comment section. I think what we should jump into now is in the comments, the live stream comment section. If you have any suggestions that we change for 2023, I did actually see a comment about the spare tire. Stuff like that is perfectly good. Put that in the comment section. We want to see like any types of suggestions for improvements that you guys may have. Obviously, you guys watch our content, and if we can improve it in any way, we want to do that. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult from our perspective to figure out what is needed from the consumer perspective and someone watching the videos. So if you guys have ideas, please throw those in the live chat so we can see those, because we are constantly trying to evaluate, make sure the best content is coming out to you guys.
Right, exactly. We have to, you guys help us put ourselves in your shoes, in essence, because ultimately, like we review a lot of family crossovers. Like for instance, we do have a Nissan Pathfinder in the driver for right now. It's our press loan of the week, and that's designed for a full family. We're 2 young dudes here. Neither of us have our own families right now. Of course, we have our mother and father, but you know what I mean. Like we don't have kids or anything. So anything you have as a suggestion, I just really need to know this or that because I have to bring a stroller, or something like that. We wouldn't know that unless you tell us. So
right.
If you have any useful suggestions like that, for sure, let us know.
Yeah, awesome. So, yeah, go ahead and throw those down there, and we will definitely be taking a look at those as we evaluate for 2023 and see of any type of changes we want to make.
And so we also wanted to talk about a little bit, kind of some future cars. Look forward into 2023 because that's starting tomorrow, as you know. And just kind of talk about some cars we're looking forward to spending time with and see what you guys are looking forward to seeing the most in 2023. Go ahead and drop that into the comments. What type of car you're really, really looking forward to checking out. Of course, we've actually talked about some of them. The things I'm remembering are like the Grand Highlander, the Pilot.
Very exciting.
Yes, those are exciting new products in the family space.
The Mazda CX-90.
Mazda CX-90. Yes. Well, those are all 3-row crossovers.
Yeah, of course.
So there's all different kinds of things. Of course, we're There's a lot of new EVs coming out. Are you excited to see any of those? I'm thinking about like Hyundai Ioniq 6. Of course, we did a first look on that. Really cool product. Hopefully, we'll be driving that
Super
in a
cool
matter
in
of
person,
months.
yeah.
There's also those the large, since we're talking about three-row crossovers a lot, the electric version of basically the Telluride and the Palisade, which would be the, I believe they're going to call it Ioniq 7
And
an
EV9.
Yeah. So that's should be pretty exciting products.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm really excited to see those. See if they're actually a good choice for families around. On the performance side of things, we're definitely excited to hopefully get behind the wheel of a Corvette Z06. Super cool car. You might have already seen it on YouTube. A few people have already driven it, but maybe get one of those back in Lexington for an entire week to test out. That would be super cool. Also, the all-new Ford Mustang is coming out this year, so the new GT Mustang, that's going to be an awesome car to drive. Maybe not the most practical, like family-oriented cars or anything, but for those of you that are just into cars and maybe want a two-door coupe, don't need all the rows of seats or anything, those are some cool cars that we're looking forward to sampling this year. Also, the new GMC Sierra UV, that's going to be an electric pickup truck that hopefully it performs a little bit better than the F-150 Lightning did on our channel, but I mean, I think it's a cool and interesting product. Electric truck itself is kind of an interesting idea, so I'm excited to see what that looks like in person.
But there's also the 2023 Chevy Colorado. That's kind of on the other opposite side. Of course, the Sierra is going to be like $110,000, but the Colorado, that's going to be an affordable mid-sized truck to go kind of head-to-head with the Tacoma, and we look forward to sampling that as well in the new year and upcoming year. Let's see if we've got any of these channel suggestions yet, and see what is going on here. Let me just answer this question. Ken Frankel is asking, do any brands offer a CD player? I realize that this is so last century, but I do have a need, and I would gladly pay for it on my next car or SUV.
Honestly,
Can you remember? Okay,
maybe like a Lexus.
It's basically been like war on CD players, so this is unfortunate for your situation because brands are really trying to, there's this trend, to keep the dash minimalistic. They don't want holes and slots and buttons anymore.
Yeah.
So they're really getting rid of that on the vast majority of cars. Maybe, I can't even remember, maybe like...
I think like a Lexus ES or something still has it.
I don't even know if the ES has it. Maybe the GX or... I don't know. Your hope is probably a car that hasn't been updated in a while. That would probably be the best place to look. It's the weirdest thing because back when we started reviewing cars,
it was on everything.
Yeah, every car had a CD player. That wasn't even that long ago. It was not too long ago, and we had CD players constantly everywhere, and people were actually monitored it, and now it's just become a trend, to get rid of it. So. That's unfortunate, I guess, if you have a big collection of CDs and stuff.
Right. Someone said to keep doing the audio systems samples. We're definitely going to continue doing that in the new year. I really don't see a lot of suggestions, so if you do have a suggestion and maybe you think about it in a little bit after the live stream ends or whatnot, you can drop it in the actual comment section of the video instead of the live stream comment section. That's also fine. You can drop it on our most recent videos or whatnot.
Yeah.
We do review all of our comments, so
right.
We will see it if you comment it. And of course, we're open and want to hear those suggestions from you guys. Yeah. But I think that's all we have to cover for this live stream. So, of course, it is New Year's Eve, so we'll let you guys get back to your families and enjoy the New Year celebration. I guess in certain parts of the world, it might already be 2023, I guess. I guess that, yeah, it definitely is probably.
I guess.
Yeah, definitely so. So some parts of the world, happy 2023 already. Other parts, you might have a little bit longer to wait. It's 2 o'clock where we're at right now, so we have a little bit longer, but
Yeah, we have quite a while longer. I mean, we could just keep going until like forget Ryan Seacrest, just watch Car Confections.
Yeah, maybe that's next year's live
Yeah,
stream.
we're just gonna live stream all the way to 2023. No, I'm just kidding. My throat would get way too dry. It's like 12 hours from now.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Thanks for just a wonderful 2022. You know, it really was just a great year. We, thanks to you guys, got to sample some really amazing cars. And we got to go travel to some amazing places. We put up a lot of videos. You guys really loved the videos. And we just had so much fun engaging with you guys and just enjoying the whole process of, you know, being car enthusiasts ourselves and, you know, transferring that to give you guys an experience where you get to experience the vehicles as well.
Yeah. So thanks so much once again. Enjoy your New Year's, and we are so excited for what 2023 has to offer. Stay tuned.